What's up, my Punginos? Andy Vlogs. Excited to share with you guys this content here. As the title suggests, we're going to be reviewing two different awesome doorbells. One that you've probably heard of, one that you've seen before from Eufy. This is the Eufy Security Doorbell. The one I'm reviewing is actually the 1080p HD wired version where you plug into a source that powers your doorbell. So this is not the battery version. And then we're going to be going over the Google Doorbell that is battery powered. But I wanted to go through and compare both of them because they're very comparable. Price point is very different. Now you can obviously get a 2K, it's like 2.7K camera, wider angle, more bells and whistles for about the same price, but because the cameras are about the same, I wanted to go ahead and share the difference. One thing to note, both of these integrate obviously with Google Home, so you can display your Eufy camera on your Google screen. You can also do the same thing with the Google Doorbell. However, the chime for the Eufy is a wired chime that you need to obviously place somewhere near your doorbell. The Google chime does use the actual wired chime, or you can connect it to your Google speaker, your different Google Home mini speakers in order for it to chime around the house. And we'll show you all of that here today in this video. With that said, folks, I was not paid for this review. This is not a sponsored video. Neither of these products were given to me for free. I paid for them myself. With that said, everything that we're going to be talking about and going through, we'll have the links down in the description down below if you guys are interested. So this is what each product comes with respectively. As you can see, like I told you, the Eufy Doorbell is substantially thinner, substantially shorter than the Google Nest Doorbell. The Google Nest Doorbell is gigantic. It is so much thicker, so much larger, and that's most likely because of the battery. I'm sure if you bought the Eufy Security with the battery, it would be much larger, but this just, wires directly into the power of the doorbell and runs it that way. Now, I want to be 100% clear. The Google does have options to be powered by battery. It depends if your doorbell hookups are the right way. I'm pretty sure I should be able to wire power this just like the Eufy does. You can see that there's a chime here that needs to be plugged into the wall. You've got your key, you've got your other tools, you've got your hardware, and you've got your angle bracket. I already have the Eufy doorbell installed, so that's why you see the angle. I already have the straight on bracket. So on the Google side here, you've got more options in the way of color. You've got your straight on bracket, angle bracket, hardware. You've got your chime connector, and then you've got your other additional hardware if you're looking to screw and mount it in, as well as the charging cable. Now you guys are probably thinking this isn't fair, you're comparing apples and oranges, but basically it's exactly the same. If you go online, you can get the Eufy Doorbell with the battery for $99. The Google Nest Doorbell is $179. As you can see here on my screen, it is a much bigger product. It's wider, it holds the battery, so it looks a little bit different, but it's essentially the same. It comes with the same ringing chime, it connects the same way, and it's got a 120-day battery life. That's about 3 months. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the comparisons here. So the Eufy camera is a 1080p as well as the Google camera. Now, the Eufy camera says that it's a 4:3 ratio, so that means it's a 1600 by 1200, whereas the Google, it didn't seem like it was quite so much. It says the camera is 960 by 1280, so that's not quite 1080p like it touted. That's kind of odd. As far as battery here, this lasts up to 120 days on average. I'd say it's probably less if you have a busy, doorbell where you have lots of kids coming in and out. For the Google itself, it does have it split up. If you have busy, doorbell activity, it could be up to about a month if you're recording a lot of footage. Now, if it's a typical, you probably got about 3 months. So it's about comparable here. They don't really tell you how big the battery is, neither does the Eufy. Both of them do pair with your existing chime. However, as the Eufy has its own chime, you can just have it bypass and go to the Eufy chime. Google can do the same thing if you've got a Google Nest. The thing is, it doesn't come built in with a chime, so that's where there's a difference in the price. Eufy connects with Amazon Alexa, as well as Google Home. The Google obviously pairs with Google Home as well. I couldn't find anywhere on Eufy's website here for the IPS rating. Google has an IPS rating of 65. So that means that it can get wet a little bit, like droplets. It's dust resistant, but you know, if there's a torrential downpour and for some reason the rain is going horizontal, it's probably going to get into the device itself and it could be problematic. But most doorbells are covered by a porch or whatnot. Now the Eufy doesn't tell you the type of camera lens you have. Google is a 1.3 megapixel sensor. Both can be wired, both can be powered by battery. Again, this is the wired only option for Eufy. The Eufy battery powered one is much bigger and it'll probably be comparable in size. Onboard storage that you can use through the app. They do have a 24/7 service if you want to have like a security system that you can pay for, but cloud storage is not paid for it. It's really, really good product. That's why I went with the Eufy. The Google Nest Doorbell does have a 24/7 service, just like the Eufy. It's called Nest Aware. It's where they can record 60 days of event video as well as 24/7 for up to 10 days. I think it's pretty cool. What you're getting with the Google is the integration with Google and with your Google Assistant. Obviously, the Eufy Security can integrate and you can have a live feed. You can even ask Google to show you the live feed from the front door. With that said, the Google Nest Doorbell has a bunch of cool features that I think are in the software. So for instance, it's got this recognition where it can see that your packages are being delivered. It recognizes faces, cars, pets, all that good stuff. And you can even have it like recognize the people that are coming to the door. The Eufy Security does have something like that where you can tell it to focus on faces. You know, it's got kind of an AI integration, but the Google is certainly more well fleshed out. Both devices have a nighttime cam feature where it kind of goes gray and you can see at the pitch dark. It's got the same feature where, you know, if someone comes up to the doorbell, it'll recognize who it is. You can click on it and you can immediately go live and say, hi, what do you want? Go away, I'm calling the cops, or hey buddy, I love you, just leave it at the door. That's exactly what I say anytime a dude that brings me a package comes by. The Google Nest Doorbell says that you can chime through your speakers, or if you want, you can connect the wires and chime through your existing doorbell. Like I said, my chime here has already been set up for the Eufy. I did it before, but what I did is I ended up putting the terminal here on these two loops. These two terminals have names. It looks like it says front here on the far right. It looks like it says trans here in the middle. And then on the far left, it says reset. So I've got them plugged into both of these two different terminals. I didn't touch anything else. You can see here that I've already installed, you know, on a different video, the Eufy Security padlock. I highly recommend this. It's got a fingerprint touch as well as the touch screen with the numbers to unlock your door. Very, very awesome product to pair with the Eufy Security. Check the links down in the description if you're interested in that or for the tutorial video. Nonetheless, you've got these two different wires here that are connected. Make sure that you've got the power turned off. Nonetheless, the red and the white can be put on whichever terminal you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put the white on the far, if you're looking at it, the far right, and I'm going to put the red on the left. Okay, you're going to place the wires in the applicable terminals.
Oh, she's showing you her kitty now.
You get a kitty, Al? You got a kitty. We love kitties, huh? Okay, to install it, you go from the top and then you kind of just place it in this little thing as it sits down. There we go. And it works. Ding dong. You can see that the doorbell ringing notification showed up on the Eufy, and now it's going to show me live feed in just a second. There I am, waving to the audience. It's going to record, and then I can speak through it if I want. Who is there? It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun. I think that's pretty decent. It looks really good. When you go into the live events, you can see at the doorbell, my daughter there, as I'm trying to fix it and set it up. It records for quite some time, 43 seconds, until I answer the doorbell. And then I can download it and I can show you the footage itself as well. There's a third doorbell. There it is. You can see I'm going to download this one as well. Okay, so once you've removed your previous doorbell, you're going to want to come up here and you're going to want to push this up to as far as you can. Now, I'm going to go ahead then and go in here and you want to make sure that the G is up. All right, next step is to connect the wires here. As you can see, they're rounded. So we're going to take these little things and we're going to push in these buttons and feed the wires in to the respective terminal. Now, it doesn't matter which wire you put in to which because it just doesn't. That's what they say. Got some clearance here to be able to put this in here. I do want to make sure that I do have it tightened best I can. Okay, it's saying to push the bottom in first. Click it and then pull down on the whole unit. There we go. All right, there it is. That wasn't very easy. Okay, now it's tightly in. Okay, now that I've got the doorbell installed, we're here on the Google app and we're gonna hit next. That's the live feed. Why is it horizontal? There's the live feed, but it's horizontal. I went ahead and disconnected the reverter or whatever from my old chime from my Eufy, and now if I push it again, it's gonna have the actual chime from the door. Okay, now that everything's all set, let's go and ring the doorbell. We can pull it up from Google. It'll show live. I can do a quick response. That's cool. Evie is gonna test it out for us.
Someone's at the clean room door.
I like it. Okay, now that we've got it all installed here, I'm gonna move over to the side and show you some of the features of the device. What's nice about this device is it shows, straight in the room that you put it in. You can see that the front door lock is the Eufy, and then it says the clean room door. When you click right into it, you can definitely see its feed. One thing that I don't like is that, it's not technically 16:9. It's a vertical view. You can go in here on the tab on the side and you can see the history. It's got kind of this full timeline of how it recorded and showing you all these different events. If you go into full history, then you can now see with a thumbnail all the different things that it's showing you. The battery here, you can show that it's unlimited because it's plugged in, it's wired in. Events, we can go into events and show you all the events that it's gonna grab and show you. I'm gonna turn vehicles off because I don't want vehicle moving. Status light blinking is always on in default. I like that. So I've changed it to the max resolution, and this should give me a little bit better resolution here now that it's connecting. You can zoom in. It's got 6x zoom, which is pretty cool. Very poor quality though, that I can tell. But this is much different, I think, from the Eufy. Okay, I'm here on my screen and I'm gonna show you a feed of the front door. Hey Google, show me the front door camera.
All right, streaming the front door on kitchen display.
This is the Eufy camera. It should be showing in just a moment. There it is. You can see and hear it. Now again, it is 3x4, so you're gonna be getting the cropping, but this is a feature that you can see. Okay, now I'm gonna show you here, asking Google for it to show the door. Hey Google, show me the clean room door camera.
Okay, streaming the clean room door.
Now you can see, there's the clean room door. I don't like how it's vertical. I really don't. I can hit talk and I can talk directly from it. Hey, how's it going? That's not responding. There we go. Whatever. All right, folks, well, that wraps up the general comparison of the Eufy Smart Doorbell and the Google Nest battery. Now, the Google Nest Doorbell battery has a wired version, but it's not branded Google, it's branded Nest. That kind of bothers me because I wanted to pick up a wired version, but nonetheless, the battery version can be wired like you've seen. But it just means that I paid too much for this device. The wired Eufy 1080p version, I think, is the superior product. It is cheaper, it is easier to install, the interface is better, and it still integrates with Google Home. So why would you get it? Why do you even have to get it? You can also connect it with its own separate doorbell chime. You can route it past the doorbell chime. You don't have to use the house doorbell. With that said, folks, that's just my take on this. That is my thought process. Both of them do come with a subscription-based 24/7 monitoring. I don't like opting into that. I like having options here. Google has a temporary time frame for when they're storing your security footage. Same with Eufy, which are about the same. I like how this is smaller. I like how it makes, different chime options that you can select. I don't really think that the Nest Doorbell really integrates that well, because I'm like hit or miss. When someone hits the doorbell, the Google device doesn't tell me that someone's at the door till later. And so I'd like a more instantaneous response. Now, again, I'm just one man with my own bias. If you guys don't think this is right, let me know down below in the description. Otherwise, down in the links are both of these products as well as some of the other products that we featured today in this video. Thanks so much for watching this. My name is Andy with Andy Vlogs. We'll see you on the next one.